Welcome to your weekend focus for July the 28th, the 29th, and the 31st, or no, the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy that you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you, wishing for joy and happiness to be in your path forward. Now let's see what the energy is going to be for this weekend. That card tried to flip, but it didn't succeed. Okay, so we have, oh, look at this, the King of Cups as our very first card. Okay, so love, absolutely. Security, definitely about security. It could be about looking at our path forward and how we balance our career and our home life. Okay, the King of Cups is the stereotypical dad. Okay, he's the one who goes out to work to provide food and shelter for the people he loves in his life, his family. The next card is the Chariot. Oh, we have strong cards for the weekend. The Chariot, our focus forward, our path forward. That could be travel for some of you, but in a general reading, I don't think everybody's going to be traveling, although watch the highways, more travel than usual. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Now, I have been getting, with this card, over the last couple of months reading it, too much on your plate, things pulling you in too many directions, and that could still be it, but I kind of got this, all the choices you have in your path forward, as my first thought. All the different choices, all those cups full. Remember the Page of Cups flying out on Thursday, asking us what we want to fill that cup with? Well, now we get different ideas. Those cups are all full of different things that we can enjoy. Also things, when you look at the Seven of Cups, all those cups aren't full of wondrous things, okay? There's one that's empty. There's one with a snake. So I guess we have to have a little bit of caution and a little bit of grounding when we are choosing what we want our cup filled with, if it's for our higher good. If it's based in reality. And an angel card to complement for revolution. So security, definitely about our security, our foundations going forward, our wisdom. King of Cups, let's start there. King of Cups. Now I talked a little bit about the King of Cups already. I actually went a little bit farther into it than I normally would, laying down the cards. So let's see what else I pick up here with the King of Cups for you. So I think it has to do with balancing our job, our career, the way we make money, the way we put ourselves out in the community, the way we involve ourselves with our friends, and the balance of how it affects home life, our relationships at home. And trying to find the happy medium. Trying to have the best of both worlds. Trying to have balance in there and bring in the security we need in order to enjoy both worlds to the fullest extent. Now, we have the Chariot here as our second card. Now, typically here we are holding on to the reins and we are driving those horses forward. We are riding our chariot forward. And those horses want to bolt any which way but the way we want it to go. So we want our chariot going in one direction. We see the focus. We see our goals. We see our dreams. We see our desires. Now, this could come across two ways, actually, I think. Either things are going to start sprouting up to really take us off our path, and we have to keep maintaining our focus back towards our path and what's important, and not allow things to pull us off our path, like those horses. If we let go of those reins or just loosen our grip on them, Who knows where we'll end up? Maybe we'll end up overturned in a ditch. So I think it has a lot to do with our focus. Yes, drive, passion, but we can't loosen the reins right now into where we want to go. No matter how bumpy or rough the ride, no matter how much those horses try and pull us in a different direction, we need to focus on our path forward. We need to focus on where we want to go, what goals, what dreams we want to manifest in our life, who we want to become in our lives, who we want to be with in our life going forward. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Now we're moving very close to a new moon, so we are definitely tying up things too with the Chariot, the King of Cups. We are trying to make sure that we have the security, the foundation, the balance, so that we can plant those new seeds. Now the Seven of Cups, I kind of got a different message here. I kind of thought, we sit in the middle of all these different things that we can do, all the different directions we can go. So maybe with the Chariot as the middle, we need to hone our focus a little bit more on one direction, one major goal, one major dream. Narrowing it down. Sometimes it's really hard to narrow it down. We don't know exactly what we do want. So figure out what you don't want. That'll shorten the list in a hurry for you. Look at your priority list. Look at what are the most important factors in your life going forward. What you want to accomplish. How you want to fill that cup. It's almost like the universe is handing you all kinds of cups and saying you can go this way, you can go that way, you can do this, you can create that, you can be with this person. And we almost have to narrow down our choices here to what is, well, we have the King of Cups as our first card. What grounds us? What brings in balance? What will bring in balance? Remember, with the Chariot, the road might be a little rough. But then we have Revolution. And this is where I think a little bit of the excitement comes in. Because one of those cups that you choose can revolutionize your entire life, your entire world. Now, you need to tap into your intuition. You need to tap into your wisdom. Absolutely. You need to have conversations with yourself, with God, your angels, your spirit guides. Have quiet time in meditation and prayer. And here's the thing about intuition, because I read a comment that, I shed a tear for the person. Because they said that they can't trust their intuition because it led them astray. And I'm not trying to be harsh here, but when we sit there in our moment of quiet and we are asking God, our angels, our spirit guides, the universe for help, for guidance, for direction, and something comes in, we go, oh, I don't want that. And we push it away before we even think about it. And then we take the next option, or the option after that. It's almost like we're bartering. We can't barter. And sometimes the things we hear the first time are not things we want to hear. Because usually it leads to a lot of hard work. Usually it leads to a lot of self-sacrifice. And why is that? To grow our wisdom, to grow our empowerment. And it's very hard to start taking that very first thought that you had and looking at it. And usually we push it away or we push it down because of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of looking foolish, fear of not being able to do what came to mind. not seeing a viable way forward in that pathway. So we push it away as nonsense. And we start to barter what we truly would like to have. And then usually it's our ego taking over the conversation. Our intuition got pushed out of the way. And our ego starts to say, well, we want this, so we're going to go this direction. We want to create that, so we're going to go in this direction. So that first thought that comes in, I mean, if you get a fear base with that first thought, that's good. Because now you get to look at why that fear popped in to being. It's not easy to look at sometimes because we have to be very blunt with ourselves, very honest with ourselves. And look at the shadow parts of us where we don't think we have the skills, the capabilities, the money, the people around us. If your intuition actually told you to go in a certain direction and you listen to it, now you have to go a little bit on faith. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the wisdom. And you have to do the work. And as you start to do the work, things start to fall into place. All of a sudden, the right people start showing up in your life. All of a sudden, there's a cash flow where you never thought there would be one. Because I see that light behind us there. And that's our empowerment. That's our enlightenment. And we're looking up at the sky, the heavens, and here this wise owl. We had the owl on Thursday too, tapping into the wisdom, right? Here's this wise owl flying by, bringing in the information, bringing in the wisdom. And if we're so accustomed to not listening to our inner self, if we're so accustomed to bartering with our ego on what we want and the way we want it, we're not going to hear the true wisdom. And it takes time. It takes energy. So let's say you're 30 years old, and when you were 20, something bad happened, and what you thought was intuition led you astray. It was probably your ego pushing away the intuition and telling you to go in a certain direction. And you were more than willing to do that because that's more of what you wanted anyways. Usually your intuition isn't going to tell you exactly what you want. That's a good sign that you were listening to your ego. And so you're 20 and you go down the wrong path. And 10 years later, you decide, I'm going to give this intuition another try. You've got 10 years of your ego having the power and the control. It's not going to go away like magic. It's going to take work. It's going to take time for you to be almost like that onion and peel away the layers and understand where the true fear is in stepping into a certain path, going a certain way, being around certain people, joining different groups, being involved in the community in a certain way, allowing your talents to flow freely, allowing your empowerment to shine through. And another good clue on whether or not it's your ego or your intuition is if it's heart-centered or not. If it's not heart-centered, if it doesn't allow growth in your life with beauty, with love, with kindness, with compassion, chances are it's your ego, once again, taking over. And it's hard at the beginning stages to understand when it's your ego and when it's not your ego, when it's the true voice. You've got the empowerment this weekend to hear the revolution inside of you. to hear where you need to go, what you need to do. And it's, for some of you, it could be an aha moment or an epiphany. For the majority of you, though, it's been a burning desire that you recognize inside of yourself. One that's been pushed down before by your ego. And where that fear starts to lay, pay attention to that fear. Ask yourself why you have that fear, why you have that doubt about yourself. Let's see what our angels have to say. So I think that this weekend can be a very beautiful weekend. You can start a revolution within your own life. All those cups being offered to you. What do you want? Is it heart-centered? Has it been a burning desire? Maybe it's just some ashes, but I know from having enough campfires that if you stir those ashes up, you'll see a small ember in there. And you can start a brand new fire again. The fact that it comes to mind, the fact that it comes to your thoughts again, means that there's still an ember, still alive in those ashes. It hasn't died out. It may look like it died out, but it hasn't died out. Okay. So we have the Magician. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. Yeah. You can have the life you want. Why do you not feel that you are deserving enough to go in that direction? What you need will magically appear. And if you are truly listening to your intuition, it's so warm in here, huh? I'm just boiling. Things will start happening. Things will start to appear. People will be there to help. You'll have to recognize it. You'll have to do the work. But it will start to come together. And for the 20-year-old, the 10 years later, well, it's taking you 10 years to get to this point, so don't expect it all in one day. Successful beginnings, the start of. We have the King of Michael. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. I think the honest and open communication needs to be with yourself, to learn a little bit about yourself. You know, because a lot of times I'm talking to people and they're like, and I'll ask them, well, why do you have that fear? And they go, I don't know. Well, you need to find that out. Because once you figure out what that fear is, it dissipates, it goes away. It doesn't stand as a barrier anymore. It's not a roadblock anymore. So take some time to enrich yourself. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. We saw that owl, right? Flying overhead, bringing in the wisdom. Stay in your integrity, in your heart center. A situation that calls for honest and open communication. And I think that that communication starts from within this weekend. Ace of Gabriel, a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. The chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. Yeah, start that revolution. Absolutely, Gabriel. A gift of passion, a gift of opportunity, a gift of inspiration can be yours for the taking this weekend. The chance to do something amazing. A sense of wonder. We have the Knight of Michael, Time to move quickly, choose logic over emotion, and sudden changes. Yeah, I really do think, with the revolution, that there's going to be epiphanies this weekend. There's going to be those aha moments this weekend. There's going to be, I can go forward in this direction. Choose logic over emotion. We want to think about it. Remember, we had the King of Cups as our very first card. Okay? The father figure in the family has to use his logic over emotion many times in order to keep the house, the family, sustainable, safe. I'm sure there's many times the stereotypical dad went to work and didn't want to be there. But the logic said you have to be there until something better comes along for you because you have mouths to feed. You have to keep that roof over their head. You have an obligation. You have a responsibility. Where do your obligations and responsibilities truly lie? Not the ones that have been given to you by other people. The ones that you took on because you wanted them. Because they were in your path. Is that 4? And then we have the King of Gabriel. Wow, strong cards, huh? We got 2 kings here. We started with a king. Keep your eye on the big picture. Leave the details to others. An experience that leads to success. Genuine concern for others. Genuine concern for others. It's not all about you. And the more that you look at how your path forward touches others' lives, the more you will realize the importance of that path forward for yourself. Genuine concern for others. Keep your eye on the big picture. I think that's what we're doing with the Chariot, are we not? We're keeping the eye, the focus on our path forward, the big picture, what we're going after. Not allowing the little things to come and take us off our path, pull us in a wrong direction. And let's grab a higher intuition card. So really, when you're looking at all these cards in a nutshell, you have to realize your own empowerment, your own higher wisdom, tapping into it. I thought that the cards would be more about, finishing paths this weekend, because we are going into a new moon and we want to plant those seeds. But I think it's getting our heart center in the right place, getting our goals aligned with what is truly a reality that we can do, that we can step into, to get realistic about our goals, to get strong and determined about our goals, our dreams, our desires. I mean, that's what the Chariot's about. Gaining that focus, not allowing those wild horses to pull you off the path. Oh, we have the little skunk. Silence. Skunk. Meditate, quiet your mind, sense, respect, ego, protection. Silence makes the real conversations between friends not the same, but the never needing to say that counts. If you have chosen skunk, this message is for you to walk in silence. You may feel that in order to get through your situation, you need to act defensively or aggressively. But skunk tells you that just walking in silence can be just as powerful. The skunk uses their odor to attract their own kind, and they use that same odor to repel those that they don't want near them. Choose the proper energy that you want to put out into the universe in order to attract the right kind. You don't have to make a lot of noise to get what you want. You just have to review the situation and act with respect and a sense that in time you will receive. It isn't about ego, it's about confidence. And how often do we, that's it for Skunk, he's short and to the point here. A lot of people get that confused. It's not about ego, it's about confidence. And as soon as we start feeling confident about ourselves, we automatically think it's ego. And sometimes we mask our lack of self-esteem, our lack of self-confidence by overinflating our ego, by marching around with our chest out all pumped up and saying, yeah, I'm better. Nobody's better than another person. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. So when you're thinking that you're better than somebody else, that's ego. When you are thinking that you, with your talents, your abilities, can make a difference in the world going forward by utilizing your talents and abilities, that's your self-confidence. That's your self-esteem. That's you taking charge. So I think we really need to sit in silence this weekend a little bit. And get together with family and friends. Enjoy the laughter, the giggles. Enjoy the moment. And understand who we truly are and where we actually find our happiness. And how we're going to take that happiness to the next level of our path forward. So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.